Can you hear me now? My microphone was not working, so just give me a hi sign. Shh. Okay. Yes. Okay, Margie, you can hear me now? Great. Oh my gosh. Best laid plans. I tested all of this before going live, but my microphone's been acting a little silly on me. So is it still okay? I just moved it closer to me. Okay, thank you, Margie, for saying you got me. All right, let me start over then. So I love spending time with you guys on Wednesday night. So much fun to be here every Wednesday and share a layout with you. I hope that you are getting some inspiration from these layouts and that you'll make them and post them out on my Facebook page or in one of the groups where you're seeing me. Wherever you're watching me, post it out there. And another time that you can spend time working on some sketches with me is at my Friday night crops. I have one coming up this Friday, 6:30 to 10. And this Friday, we will be making the sketches that Creative Memories puts out for their virtual crop. So if you have not tried a virtual crop, they're so much fun. We all get on Zoom and we work on these sketches together, and the sketches are challenging and easy, and there's just a wide variety of things you can do with them. And we always have ours all same sketch, but we all interpret it different ways. So it's so much fun to see um, how much variety we get and how different they are and how beautiful they all are. So come join me on Friday night for my virtual crop. It starts at 6:30. I have an event out on my Facebook page for my Friday night crop, so you can find the link there. If you're a member of my Friday night crop virtual group, the link is out there to register. I think it's out in my Pam's creative scrapbooking group. So I try and put it out in all of my groups and on my Facebook page. So, but if you still can't find it, please just send me a private message or email me at pammoran@outlook.com, and I will get that registration link to you. You only have to register one time, and then you'll get an email with the Zoom meeting link. Hold on to that Zoom meeting link. Maybe create a shortcut on your desktop or put it in your web browser, favorites, because it's the same meeting link for all of the Friday night crops. So, just reach out to me if you can't get connected, because I can help you out and get you registered, and you can join us Friday. We have a great time working on sketches, or you can work on your own projects and you can hang out with us and talk. So come join us and check it out. Just come check it out. It's a very relaxed atmosphere. And what's great about it is you don't have to pack up your stuff and take it anywhere like you do at an in-person crop. It's virtual, so you can just sit in your own scrapbooking space and work. All right, so that's coming up this Friday. Tomorrow night is Scrappy Thursday, and this is exciting because it's the first Scrappy Thursday for April. We do Scrappy Thursdays the second and the fourth Thursday of the month. And Alisa, her and I have a Facebook group called Let's Get Scrappy with It. Come join the group. Lots of fun. And we do these Scrappy Thursdays, and she will be doing the Scrappy Thursday tomorrow night. It starts at 7, and she's going to announce your challenge for April. We give you a challenge every month. January, we gave you a challenge of circles, to make a layout with circles. February, it was hearts. March, it was waves. So tune in tomorrow night to see what April's challenge is. And you can make the layout, post it in our group, and then you are in the running or have a chance to win a $50 product credit. We're giving 2 of those away in November. So the more times you post pictures of your layouts that you've done from our challenges in our Let's Get Scrappy with It group, the more chance you have to win. And when you post that, be sure and use the hashtag hashtag Scrappy Thursdays, because that way they are grouped all together and we can see all of your posts. All right, so Scrappy Thursday tomorrow night. Friday night, virtual night crop. My next retreat is May the 5th, and it is filling up fast, ladies. We have a bunch of ladies who like to get together for their ladies' weekends. So if you have a group of friends and y'all want to come and scrap with us, we are in Palestine, Ohio, which is northwest of Dayton. It's up by Greenville, about 15 minutes, and you're in Indiana. So it's right on the Ohio-Indiana border. So come join us. We have ladies that come from Michigan and Indiana and Kentucky and Virginia. So it's so much fun. And we have such a good time, and we have classes and demos and lots of time to work on your projects and hang out with your buddies. So we would love for you to join us in May. The cost is $160 for 3 nights and $190 for 4 nights. So reach out to me. I can get that flyer out to you. I may have that as an event on my scrapbook page or my Facebook page, but I can't remember if I do or not, but I will get it out there so y'all can see it. All right. So the retreat, the Friday night crop, the Scrappy Thursdays. What else could we be doing? Well, at the end, mid-April, no, next week. Oh my gosh, it's next week. April 17th and 18th. It's sneaking up on me. I am doing my beginners classes, my scrapbooking 101. We get together on Monday and Tuesday night from 7 to 8, and we talk about everything scrapbooking, and we share ideas. We share how we organize. We share how we set up our rooms. We share how we scrapbook, all of that. We talk about organizing pictures and cropping pictures, and then we make a layout at the end of the night. So it's a great conversation. I would love for you to join us. It's from 7 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. It is free. There is no charge for this class. And it's for beginners and seasoned scrapbookers and people coming back and starting again. Anybody that wants to join, just to talk and have kind of a support group type of thing where we, help each other and give each other ideas. So that is April 17th and 18th. Okay, those are my events. Now, tonight, as you can see, oh, no, you can't. Let me show you. All right. As you can see, tonight we are talking about Botanical Burst. This is a collection that came out. It came out in 2021, and it came out in a variety of colors. It came out in yellow and red and blue and green and orange. There were a bunch of beautiful colors, and you can mix and match. They blend well together. They look great together. The colors look great together. So lots of fun with florals, but also other patterns as well. It's not just florals. I know it says botanical, but there are other patterns of paper in here. And so what Creative Memories is doing is they are discounting specific products, certain products. They are picking certain products to discount. So if you go out to my website and go to Last Chance, there is now a new heading called Sale. And those are the items that are on sale. And right now, these Botanical Burst collections are on sale because it's Easter time. So you're doing Easter pictures, and it's springtime. So you're doing fun floral pictures. So they are coordinating with the season and with other new collections that are coming out, and they're going to mark things down randomly. They're just going to pick them and say, oh, we're going to mark this down now. For example, when the On the Farm came out last week or 2 weeks ago, they marked down the horse punch. They put a discount on that. So they're taking products that are out there that have been in the catalog, and they're marking them down to coordinate with new collections and things that are happening like seasons and holidays and stuff like that. So check out the sale section on my website. So I thought we would make a layout tonight with the Botanical Burst Blue. I'm very partial to blue. Blue is my favorite color. Blues and purples. I love that. So I grabbed this off my shelf and thought, let's make a fun layout with this. And what we're going to do is we are going to take this blue cardstock, and this is a navy, the navy cardstock, and we're going to use that as our background. Okay, that's going to be the background. And then we're just going to make a real simple layout with some scraps. Really, there's scraps of paper because I have been using this collection for about a year now. So I have a bunch of scraps, and including one that is going to go just right down the side of the page right here. So I just need to cut a couple other scraps for each side of that. And then we're going to put one across the bottom here. And then we're going to have room for pictures up here. I meant to pick out some pictures before tonight, but I did not get to that. So I don't know that I'll have pictures to show you on the layout, but I will lay some mats down just so you can get an idea of what it's going to look like. And so I decided I am going to use 3 different patterns for my layout. I've got the dots and this, what would you call that? Like a little rainbow type of thing, a little crest of some sort that's wavy. And then this very geometry looking print on this. Triangles and octagons and all that kind of fun stuff in this layout, or on this pattern. So I'm going to use these 2. And then I am going to use the scallop blade. So I'm going to change that out with my straight blade. And we're going to cut a couple strips of paper. So this strip is 2 by 12 right now. Let me get my just trying to get my mats lined up so that they're nice and straight and together so that I can use that when I'm laying things down. Okay. So this is 2 by 12. Okay. And then I'm going to cut a 1.5 out of this one, and I'm going to cut a 1.5 out of this one. Okay. I'm going to move this stuff here. I've already got my blade in here, and I'm going to line this up at 1.5. I'd like to use this little ruler over on this side for my 1 inch for smaller cuts, more narrow cuts. Just because more of my paper then is up against the ledge and keeping it straight and steady for me so that it's not the cut is not crooked, so that it's nice and straight. So I'm going to line up this edge with my 1.5 that's over here on this side and make my cut. There we go. So there's one side. I'm going to use this side of it. I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to cut it again at 1.5 right here. And hopefully there we go. Awesome. You just have to be careful when you're cutting with the blades. And I haven't figured out the rhyme and reason. Maybe you guys have, and you can tell me. But you see how my scallop blade, you either get the design that sticks out or has a bump, right? You get that, or you get the what is it? The opposite of that, but that's not the right word, where it's cutting out, so it goes down. And either one of those looks great on your layouts, but I'm wanting the scallop that sticks out because I want it to match kind of with this, right? It has that scallop around the edges in this pattern. So I want it to match with that. So I cut it the right way We did good. All right. We'll lay these aside. Now we're going to do the same thing with this pattern. All right, good. And we're going to line it up at 1.5. Actually, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut off just a little bit right here. I'm going to line it up just with the edge of my gray mat and just get my scallop on the one side first. And hopefully I cut it right so that it's scalloped in the right direction. Yes. Okay. So when I start from the top, I get the scallop on my paper the way I want it here. Now, I just have to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to line it up at the 1.5. And again, I'm going to start from the top. There we go. So that's working. When I start from the top, then I get on my piece that I'm putting on my layout, the scallop that has the scallop half circle, we'll call it, instead of the indent portion of the cut. Okay. So you may just have to play around with that a bit to get the one you want on both sides of your strips of paper. Okay, so something like this is what we're going to do first. But what I want to do is right now these are all at 12 inches and I want to have a little bit of my blue peeking through. So I'm going to trim all 3 of these down to 11 3/4. And I'm going to remember to change my blade to the straight blade first. And we're going to line this up at 11 3/4 right there. Just like that. We're going to have a little bit of blue peeking through on either end. 11 3/4 on this one as well. Making sure that my paper's up against this ledge. And a good rule of thumb is when you're cutting, okay, here we go, 11 3/4. When you're cutting and you're lining your paper up at the top of the trimmer against this ledge, then you want to cut from the bottom up because that way you're pushing your paper toward that ledge and keeping it nice and straight and nice and stable. Versus if you cut down, you may pull your paper down and out of alignment. So if you like to line your paper up down at the bottom on the bottom ledge, then you're going to do your cutting from the top down so that you're pushing your paper against that bottom ledge because there is a ledge at both ends of the trimmer that you can push your paper up against to keep it nice and straight. So I'm going to go from the bottom up since my paper is on this top ledge. There we go. Just another way to help keep your paper stable so you get a nice straight cut. All right. We had a Friday night crop here last Friday, and you can just tell from my desk. There's just lots of little its and bitses, and I need to do some straightening up. All right. So there we go. We're going to do these 3 just like that. And we just want that slight space in between all 3. We're going to get them as close as we can to the side. But I don't know if you want to try and measure, let's say it's 1/16 of an inch in between these or 1/8 of an inch, just something very slight. Just like that. Okay. And I do like to use my photo tape for these bigger pieces if I can find it. Oh, excuse me. My head's going to be in the shot. There we go. My photo tape was laying on the other table. All right. I just like this photo tape because I like to put a nice long piece on it so that I know it's going to lay down nice and flat. So this piece is only an 1.5 inches. This piece is 2 inches. Probably do one on each side on this one. It's a little wider. So I do a piece on each side. I just like that. I just think it lays down nice and flat that way. Just do one on this side. There we go. All right. So now we can lay these down. And I am going to put this directly on my 13-inch mat, fully on one mat instead of in the middle, because I want to use my measurements, my little tick lines here along the edge to get this lined up. So I'm going to start with this guy here. Okay, and I'm going to put him down. Remember, we're going to leave a little space. It's 11 3/4, so we're going to have a little space all around it. So I'm just going with that very first line, which, what is that, a 16th? Hold that steady. And measure. Ooh, You do have to be careful with the tape because it does stick very well. I think that looks okay. I can pull that back up. If I would need to reposition that, I can pull it back up. You just have to take your time, and it may snag a little bit of paper when you're doing that. So now with this type where I have two pieces of the photo tape on, I'm just going to take the one off. I'm going to get it lined up, and then I'll take the other one off. Okay, so my paper is nice and lined up on this 13-inch mat. I'm just going to go to this next tick mark right here, this next 1/16 of an inch. And just see if I can't get that same up at the top. There we go. So I just have the one side down, then I can just lift up a corner of this and pull that other piece. Very good. Now, if any of your corners are sticking up, you can take some of your repositionable and just sneak it under there, do a little scrape across the corner there underneath, and your repositionable will hold that down just perfectly. All right. So now the last one. Again, just going over to that next little mark there on the ruler, and then just keeping this nice and straight here. There we go. I have a bit of a bubble right there, but I think it'll be okay. It'll lay down. All right. Very good. All right. I like it. Now, I used blue as my background, but you could use any dark color. If you wanted to use black, that would look very striking as well. Hey, Vicki, just say hi to some people now. Margie and Sue Ellen, I appreciate your help when we were getting started with my sound. Thanks for joining, Vicki. Yes, the scallop blade really gives it a cute look. Gives it a different look. I like it too. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for saying hi. If you are out there, please say hi. Let us know where you're joining from. We'd love to see people from all over the area, all over the country joining us. So All right, so now I'm going to actually do a fourth piece like we talked about going across here. And first I'm going to look at my scraps. Sorry, I was talking off the microphone. I'm just going to look at my scraps. I don't think I have any. No. Okay. Here we go. So I am going to have to just use a piece of this. None of my scraps are long enough. I don't have as much left of them as I need. So let's just take a look at these. And I think I'm going to just stick with the I think I'm just going to stick with maybe the dots or this one. And I'm just going to do, for this one, I'm just going to do one edge scalloped. So it really doesn't matter. Whichever one you like the most, use that as your crossover piece. I think I like this one better. I'm going to go with that one. Put my scallop back in, and we're going to follow the same thing we did a minute ago. I'm going to align it up at the top. I'm going to trim off my edge right at the edge of this gray mat. Make sure it's up against this ledge here. And I'm going to pull down because I know that that means my paper is going to be cut the way that I want it with the scallops out. Okay, and then this one is just going to be 1 inch is what we're going to make this one, just 1 inch. So we did 2 by 11 3/4. We did 1.5 by 11 3/4. And now this one is 1 by 11 3/4. So it is a smaller strip of paper. All right. Perfect. Oh, I was just going to scallop on one edge, but that's okay. This looks good too. There are no mistakes. There's just time to be creative. There we go. Opportunity to be creative. All right. Here's my tape again. I'm going to put a big piece of tape on this. This is photo-safe tape, of course. Acid-free, lignin-free. It's not going to hurt my pictures. It's not going to fall off. It's going to stay on here forever, and it's not going to cause any kind of damage to pictures. And let's just place this, I don't know, let's say this is 1.5 inches. I'm going to do 1.5 inches. I think that's a nice, oh, I didn't trim this. I meant to trim this to 11 3/4 like we did the others. We will just do that now, and we'll just trim the adhesive right along with it. It'll be okay. So here's 11 3/4 right there. Oh, 11 3/4. There we go. All right, so we're not going to have this directly on the edges either. It's going to be right in line with our scallop, and I've got it right at 1.5. So here's my 1.5 over here. Gonna move it over just slightly. There we go. Okay. So now we have this great place right here. And what do you think we should put right there? I think we need to put some kind of flowers. Of course. This is the Botanical Burst collection. So we want to have some pretty flowers on it. And these are the botanical burst flowers. Lots of fun leaves that look like shells. I love that. And then on the edges of the flowers has some shiny finishes on the edge. So I love that too. That gives it a fun look. And there are some green leaves in that pack. So I think that gives it a fun look. And we want to probably put this up on some foam squares. You know how I love foam squares. And so you can layer these flowers as well. I don't know how many I have that are small. Oh, I do see some in here because I've used these a lot. This fun thing here is a sort and stash for my sort and stash binder. It's one of the sort and stash pages, and it's the 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 or something like that. I can't remember the exact measurements, but great for little pieces, to store little pieces. If you like to pre-make your die cuts or pre-cut them out with your Cricut and take them to a crop, these are great little envelope type things to have them in. And then there's a binder that you stick this in, sort and stash binder, out on my website if you want to check it out. All right. So it doesn't look like I have too many small ones. I just have that one where you can, like I said, layer them. These are smaller than these, so you could layer these together. That looks cute. Oh, here's a smaller one. So you could do something like that. Or you could take this flower and do something like that. So lots of opportunities here, lots of different ways you can arrange your flowers. And then it does come with some little jewels and some little buttons. I like the buttons better for my scrapbooking and the jewels for my cards. The jewels are a little thicker, so the buttons are flat and they make a cute little centerpiece for a flower. I use repositionable for my flowers, and I have this great silicone mat, so I like to use that for my repositionable because it just rubs right off. So I put my repositionable on the back of the flower. There we go. And then I think this flower we need to put up on a foam square. Give it a little bit of oomph on the page. Give it some depth. Make it look fun. So however you want to arrange. And then I'm going to do my leaves the same way. I'm going to use my repositionable. And I'm just going to tuck those in behind the flower. Something like that. Foil, that's what I wanted to say. These flowers have are foiled. They have that shiny foil finish on the edges and in the middle of them. I'll just lift these up so you can see some of them. So they have foil on them that make them give your page a little bit of bling bling, you know, a little bit of fun. And if you're someone that likes to only make 2-page layouts, then this is a great one to make for a 2-page layout. Just cut out 2 of everything and do a mirror image and have this bottom border go all the way across the bottom. That would look perfect. Okay, let's put a little button in the middle of our flower. Give it a little bit of fun. Give it a little bit of more shine, even more shine to it. We've got a lot of different colors. Oh, I like that one right away. We're just going to do that one. There we go. That stands out. That looks pretty. Something like this. Nice. All right. Okay, Sue Ellen had a question. She's asking me if the blades fit in the trimmer either way. And the answer is no. They only fit in the trimmer one way. So they are shaped at a curve and then a flat edge. The curve goes down in and the flat edge is along the top. So they can only fit in there one way. They cannot fit in there this way. The lid won't close. The blade is actually, I don't know if you can see that. You can see the blade right in there. So when you are pushing down, it pushes down on this piece right here and pushes the blade out the bottom. So there you go. There's the blade. Oh, sorry. Let me do that again. I'm pushing on this white piece up here. When you push on that, you see the blade come out the bottom here. But none of that happens outside of the trimmer. The blade stays covered and protected, so there's no chance of you cutting yourself. So when you put it in here and you close it and then you push down on it, all of that stuff happens in that blade mechanism, it pushing the blade down into your paper. So yes, good question, Sue Ellen. Thank you for asking that. I love this, these blades. I just love that they are all protected. So if my grandkids come over and they want a scrapbook, there's no, chance of them hurting themselves with those blades. And then all your extra ones store right underneath. So this is the bottom of my trimmer, and these are all of my decorative blades, and they snap in on the bottom down here. You also have a place to store an extra cutting mat, which is this piece right here, because eventually you have to replace those. So there's a spot here to store that as well. So lots of great benefits to this trimmer. It has a lot of great features that help you out and help you stay organized and help you have great cuts because the trimmer cuts like butter. That's what my customers say. It's my favorite trimmer. It cuts like butter. And I would have to agree with that. All right. So what about pictures? Let's do some pictures real quick. We have a little bit of time. Let's see. I have some placeholders that I like to use just to see where my pictures would look good. I think they're like 4x6 or 4¼ by 6¼ just a standard size, that pictures are. So you're going to have a picture here. You're going to have a picture here. There we go. And then you're going to have a picture right there. Now, you can do as many pictures on this as you want. I could do a couple little small round pictures down here. I can move this down a little bit. I can have another picture up here. If you're somebody that likes to get as many pictures on a page as you want, this is a great layout for that because you have lots of room, lots of space to get your pictures in, and they're going to look awesome. One more thing that I was thinking is I would do another little bling bling over here. Some fun little things over here just to keep my layout, that rule of the triangle when you're looking at a piece of art, or when I've heard it about the way that you set up your kitchen too, that things should be in a triangle because that's kind of the natural way our eyes move around a piece of art. And that's the natural way that when we're cooking, we want our sink, our refrigerator, our stove, all like in a triangle area. I don't know. I probably heard that on what does he call that? What's that show? Joanna Gaines. I probably heard it from her. All right. So let's see. Let's pick out 3 fun colors down here. Let's do this pink. And we're just going to put 3 little buttons. 3 little guys. 3 little fun buttons. Like happy trees. That's what I'm looking for. 3 little happy buttons down here at the bottom. Just to give it a little bit more bling bling. And then if you want, you can do photo mats on the back of your picture, or you could put them directly on the cardstock. It's up to you. It would look great either way. If you have some pictures that are lighter, that would look great on these. They're really going to stand out on this dark color behind them. So, and then for this one, you might want to have a photo mat behind this one, just because we have a lot of pattern going on here. You might want to have something solid or something with not as much pattern on it, just so your picture stands out laying on top of this pattern paper. But there we go. there is our layout for tonight. Awesome. Sue Ellen, hey, thank you. I agree. I love the storage on the back of my trimmer. I think that is the best invention because do you remember the days when we had tons of blades and we had to remember to bring them all with us to the crop and hope that we didn't lose any along the way? Well, we don't have to worry about that anymore. They just snap right in the back there. All right. Oh, Edita, thank you for joining and saying that. It is a very fun layout. Thank you for saying that it's pretty. I like it. Again, blue is a good color. I love that. Thank you all. I'm so happy to see you all here tonight. And Margie, thank you for commenting. I appreciate all your comments. And just know, this live happens in several of my Facebook groups. And so I only have my Pam Scrapbooks Facebook page up for me to see while I'm live. That's the only one that I have up that I can see your comments. So if you are on my other groups and saying hi, I really appreciate that you're here, and thank you for saying hi. I just can't see your comments, and I love to read them after the go live, and I try and answer any questions that you have. So you may be on my Pam's Creative Scrapbooking group watching me live. You may be on my Friday night virtual crop group watching me live. So if you are on either of those, I will read your comments after I go live, and I appreciate you for being here. All right. Well, you guys have a great rest of your week. Thank you once again for joining me on Wednesday Night Live. Join me again next week for another fun layout, ideas, tips, tricks, things like that. We try and cover a lot of different things Wednesday nights. And we like to just come and say hi and check in the middle of the week and make sure everybody's having a good week. So you guys enjoy your week, and I will see you all on Friday night at my Friday night virtual crop. We are going to make 4 sketches, and we're going to have so much fun. So you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Good night.